Thanks for checking back again. As we promised, this week we will be doing a walking food tour. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you heard me right. We got the best of both worlds. Really yummy food, and we get to walk it all off afterward. We will also share with you the local secrets of Quebec City. Now, here's Richard.
Because of our love for food and travel, one of our favorite things to do when visiting a city is to join a local food tour. Unfortunately, when we were in Quebec City, it was the first year of COVID and everything was shut down. However, with persistence, we were able to find a tour company who wasn't really open yet, but managed to put together a special tour just for us. We were treated to a walking tour of Old Quebec with our tour guide, Richard, who shared with us some interesting tidbits of Quebec City. And we got to taste 4 restaurants that were all very different, but very good. Welcome back to Chasing the Sun. I'm Eric Lee, and with Andrew Resmer. And we have here Richard from Tournebroche, Quebec. We had the honor of going with you on a walking food tour today, and it was a great experience. Please introduce yourself, your company, and a bit about the tour for our audience.
Oh, thank you. My name is Richard, of course. I was born and raised within the walls of this city. I went to school also within the walls. So what I was doing today, I was really showing you my neighborhood.
These were some of the interesting historical facts that Richard shared with us about his city.
While resident in this house, Lavallée was asked to write an anthem for the Saint John the Baptist Day celebrations of 1880. His composition to words by Judge Adolphe Basile Routier was O Canada.
Oh,
so
it wasn't meant to be our anthem.
It was not meant to be the national anthem of the country.
Oh.
It was meant to be a hymn for Saint John the Baptist Day. And Saint John the Baptist Day is today the national holiday of the province of Quebec.
Is there a French version of O Canada?
O Canada was only written in French. It was translated afterwards. The words in English don't have any meaning.
O Canada was written in French?
Of course. Well, if it was written in Quebec City, what do you want?
Oh, right.
That's what I was thinking. This is the oldest building in Quebec, built in 1665.
Coming from the Atlantic, it is right here in front of us that the river is at its narrowest. This Detroit was called Quebec by the natives. So the place was
Quebec
named Quebec, means where the river is narrow. And I want to tell you, if you have learned a little bit of English literature, you have probably heard of Charles Dickens. Mm-hmm. And Charles Dickens in 1842, when he came to Quebec sailing from Montreal and he passed in front of these walls, he compared them to Gibraltar. So Quebec got the nickname the Gibraltar of North America because of the fortress standing on a rock, basically. During the British times, the military hospital was down this way to the right, and the British used to put cannonballs in the middle, at the entrance of the path to get to the military hospital. So the horse carriages would not hit the walls of the buildings. They would have to go in between the cannonballs to be into the path, you know. And one day they say that a seed coming from the park up there just landed beside the cannonball and the tree just grew on it. So this is a very unusual thing that you find here in Quebec City, an old elm tree which is about 120 years old right now.
Wow.
Yeah, because we have pictures of the house here in 1900 without a tree.
Oh, interesting. So this tree grew after the cannonball.
Yeah,
Yes.
just the elm trees have aerial roots, they say, you know, so it just hugging the cannonball.
Now, on with the food. Here's a quick map of the 4 restaurants included in the food tour, starting with La Buche, then Sagamite, and then Tournebroche, which shows up as Bistro Ortiz on Google, interesting enough. And finally, Le Monastery de Augustine. Yes, you heard it right. We'll be showing you a real live working monastery.
The tour we did today was basically a 4-stop tour. Because of COVID, normally we'd do 5, but we did 4. We did give you a sample, a little bit of the local culinary culture today.
Yeah, I like the fact that it was a combination of history and food
And all the restaurants were very unique. They're quite different. They're not just all French restaurants, for instance, right?
The first restaurant was more towards the sugar shack experience, where we know that sugar shacks are something we go to normally in the springtime.
Okay.
And
Is that a French Canadian thing? Because we don't hear it in the West Coast.
well, it is a French Canadian thing, definitely, because you have to remember that in those days it was really hard work to harvest the sap, and it
The
was
maple
done
saps.
with the maple sap, definitely, yes. And it was the families would come and help, you know.
Okay.
And doing so, they bring meals. They'd bring meat pies, they'd bring ham, they'd bring eggs, and whatever they would have, and everything would be topped with maple syrup. And this is the experience of la Buche that we did today. We served you a little bit of pea soup, which is a very traditional
Yes,
soup.
even salmon was with maple syrup.
Yes, absolutely. The maple vinaigrette is absolutely outstanding.
And here's our experience of the first restaurant, La Buche, which serves Quebecois cuisine in the sugar shack style.
What you get?
Ooh,
Shirley,
There we go.
I'm gonna like drink this in like one go.
Actually, just in time for the caribou shooter.
perfect. This is what?
There we go, caribou.
Caribou.
Caribou is a
Caribou
famous liquor
shooter.
from Quebec City, and this one is our recipe, so we call it caribou.
Caribou.
Cheers. Wow. I like you now.
Yeah, there you go.
So caribou is a fortified red wine.
Oh,
Like
red
I said,
wine.
this one is our recipe. So it's red wine, half and half mixed with whiskey, maple syrup, cinnamon,
Whiskey.
and of course
And
caribou
cinnamon.
blood.
Oh, what
This
is that?
smoked salmon.
Smoked salmon?
You know,
We smoke it the cold way. So
cold.
it's a little bit different. We have blueberry and maple vinegar on top.
How's that?
Just to remember the sugar
Maple
shack
vinegar.
flavor.
smoke.
Pea soup.
Pea soup. Okay,
What about butter?
you're the soup guy, so. Oh, what is on top here?
We have bacon,
Oh, so there's bacon
maple
in
vinegar, of course.
This is good.
Stop number 2. Well, since today we're very happy to have this partner in our tours. It's of course the natives, and the natives offered you today some game meat along with some of their cultural, I would say, and a mix also with the French, since we had this pomme de terre au gratin. Remember?
It's dauphinoise potatoes. It's a cream and
Potato?
cheese potatoes
Okay.
with a venison pasty.
Oh, venison in there.
Yeah,
Oh,
and a venison sauce.
and sauce. Okay.
Oh,
Oh, wow. Look at
And that's
that.
why almost the Quebecers don't feel Canadian.
sometimes, yeah. Yeah.
What is this? This is amazing.
It's a help.
This is called potence. And it's game meat, which they put on the spikes. Then he's gonna flame it.
This is a dangerous job.
Yes, for the customer. Not for the Enjoy your meal.
Thank you. See.
And then we went to stop number 3, which was the Tournebroche. A very interesting place because they are much into the concept of farm to table.
They even grow food on the roof.
Yes, they have a garden where they grow vegetables, and they also have beehives. So
Yeah, Richard was telling me that they actually have their own beehives, and Quebec is reintroducing bees to the city, right? Quebec City itself.
yes, we do have beehives on the rooftops of many buildings around town. And you were asking me where do they get their flowers? Well, if you take
Right here.
pictures of all the parks, because we have flowered tremendously this city. We
Yeah.
invest a lot of money in flower in Quebec to make it absolutely beautiful for the summer. I hope you're hungry.
Oh, okay, what do we have?
Chicken kebab. The rotisserie chicken is their signature.
Oh. They make their own honey here.
Yes, they do. They make it, well, they have beehives on the roofs, but they also have beehives at the farm. And we make beehives because today we have hives on like on the South of Frontenac, on the Parliament Building. It's common now to.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Just in the middle of this. Oh.
We introduced the bees back into the city. Yeah, and the last stop, well, we had this.
He was hoping that we will enroll, but no.
I had hopes.
This is a nunnery, a monastery.
There's only 9 nuns left after from 300 to 9.
So today we had a little bit of a lesson on joining the orders, right? Yeah. So also we had to taste one of their teas, which is very special because they kept the recipes of the old herbal teas they used to make. So we sampled one of those, and a little tartelette. That was the dessert, the topping on the icing on the cake for this tour.
Yeah, it was a great experience. Like I've never been to a nunnery or a monastery, so it was very eye-opening. And of course, Amy asked lots of questions, so we learned so much in a compact time.
It was efficient.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Is this still an active nunnery?
Yes and no. Because there's a lot less nuns than there used to be, you know.
Yes.
Young women don't want to go to become nuns anymore.
Beautiful key.
They were all for different places to open or close a lot of places here at the monastery. We don't need them anymore, so we just expose
Everything is open now.
Right now, the average age of our nuns here is 85 years old. 85 years old, yes. So,
What is the oldest nun?
the oldest, I think, is about 100 years old.
So are they virgins?
Yeah. They are supposed to.
Supposed to be.
Supposed.
Do they secretly not virgins?
Maybe.
You will know.
Maybe.
Unless he was involved.
But so more.
300 nuns here at the same time.
At the same time, in the 30s. But today we have 9 nuns.
9?
9.
What happened to them in 293?
They died.
The world has changed.
Did that, and they, some unknown themselves?
Yeah.
They don't have new nuns. They need new nuns.
The nuns became unpopular at the start of the 60s.
Okay, what do we have in front of us?
Oh, yeah. I finished already. This is a tartlet with strawberry, rhubarb, and black spruce compote.
Black what?
Black spruce compote.
Oh, okay. What's the white?
The white, I think it's macaron.
Oh, macaron.
Yeah. And we have this herbal tea that we have that you have right in front of you. That's called Simplicity. It's made of dog rose, elderberry, fennel, cinnamon, and ginseng. So all the herbals, the preparation that we do at the monastery are from our archives. So here we have 400 years of archives in the monastery. I'm gonna make a little publicity for the restaurant here because as a monastery we are not only a museum, there's also a restaurant, hotel rooms, there's also masotherapy.
What is that?
Physio? Or spa?
Spa?
Well, it's like well, first of all, when you come here, if you come to reside here, you come here in the spirit that you come here for a retreat, to peaceful retreat, and then they'll give you, if you want, some massage, but everything is oriented towards interior.
What is in the museums?
A lot of medical instruments from ancient times, artifacts, a lot of gifts from high-ranking people at a certain time.
And that's the end of the food tour. But here's our debrief of our personal favorite of the 4 restaurants. Plus, I will be asking Richard for his local secret tip. Okay, so Andrew, I want to ask you, which out of those 4, which was your favorite?
Well, I think the first one was the favorite because this combination of the, sugar
Buche.
Buche. Yeah. It's the food, the difference. It's something different, right? Because everything else, obviously the First Nations stop was nice too. Except I'm a vegan, so I don't eat much meat. But the first one was good, very good. Soup was amazing, and the salmon was yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I think for me it's tough because they're all so different.
Yeah.
So there's all unique things to love. I think for me, I like the farm to table. What's La
Tournebroche.
Tournebroche. I like that for the fresh ingredients. But I would say this one is my favorite just for the surprise element. I didn't expect this in a food tour to be exposed to a nunnery. And you know, there wasn't much food in there. There was a nice little tart, but the whole experience was very interesting.
When we started coming to this monastery in the first food tours we did here, I was very excited because when I was a little boy growing up around here, no one could ever jump the walls to get into this place. Yeah, now people have access to it, and it's really
protected, right, by the government.
And it's a treasure that we have, and we're proud of it. Absolutely.
Right. Okay. Well, you know, I do want to ask you two more questions. You being a local, very local Quebecois, would it be a Quebecois?
Yes, I'm a Quebecois.
Yeah, born within the cities. Can you share with us what's one secret spot that you think is very special for Quebec?
And we can promise that's not going to be secret for long.
Absolutely. Did you talk in food or sight?
Anything.
Whatever
as a tourist,
unique.
what's one place they should know?
Well, okay. In terms of sight, there's a park in the upper area near this, I would say near the Château Frontenac, called Le Cavalier du Moulin. If you're in the old city and you want to relax, probably have a little picnic even with your family, it's a park which used to be part of the very first fortifications of the city in 1693, and today they have adapted it. It's absolutely secret because you will be almost alone in that park if the word doesn't get out.
Okay, it won't get out. Thank you so much. Now we'll end it off, but please tell our audience, if they are in Quebec City, where can they find out about a tour of Buche?
Well, you know, in times of COVID, I would say internet. You do Tour of Buche Quebec because the office where we normally have our headquarters is currently shut down for sanitary measures. But internet, Tour of Buche Quebec, you can find us anywhere. And then we do the arrangements and we meet at the place you want us to meet you. Some people ask us, can you meet us at our hotel in the lobby? We will meet you at your hotel in the lobby, but this is on a private tour. When we gather the groups, if you join a group to be on a tour, it will be at near the Château Frontenac, near our usual office at Place d'Armes.
Beautiful place.
And this is where we start usually our historic tours.
And how many people does it take for a private tour?
Well, you see, considering the cost of things right now, we ask at least 4 people.
Okay, well that's great because if you have 4 people, which is not hard to do, you can have your own private tour, and I believe you said that you can have a custom tailored tour depending on what you want to focus on. Is that right?
You can definitely, yes. You can ask your guide according to your preferences. If you like architecture, if you like the religious patrimony, if you're more into the military, or I don't know, if you're into politics, we could give you an experience according to your needs. Or like I like to do, I like to visit every place, so I like to give you military and everything. But on a food tour, we're a little bit limited because we spend more time eating. But on a walking historic tour, you get the whole picture of the city in approximately 2.5 hours.
That's a great option. Well, thank you, Richard. Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure to be with you today. I really enjoyed myself. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you.
And if you like this video, please subscribe to our channel below and hit the like button. We'll get more of these videos out to you so you can have those travel tips. Although the food tour with Richard is over, it's not yet over for our food adventures in Quebec City. Here's 5 restaurants that we checked out on our own, starting with Le Cochon Dingue, then Bistro 1640, followed by the French Bistro Le Hobbit. We had Swiss fondue at La Grolla, and then finally, our favorite food experience of all was L'Orangine. Make sure you stay to the end for that one. That's the omelet.
That's the crate. Oh, the crate looks good.
Yeah.
Next,
I'll bring this.
So we found a brunch spot. I can't pronounce this, but it's called Cochon Dingue. It's right on the main strip across from the ferry terminal, right by the Le Petit Champlain. I ordered their very interesting poutine breakfast, or breakfast poutine. It's actually good. They have like sausages and peppers and poached egg on top. And I've been told that how to tell if a poutine is good is if the cheese squeaks. And yes, this squeaks in my mouth, so it's good. And I do like it. They put hollandaise sauce on it also. So I learned that the cheese that they use in the poutine and the eggs benedict is actually called apple butter cheese. Sounds super interesting. Maybe that's why it's so good. I'm not sure. The crepe is really good. I like it personally. It's chewy, which is nice, and soft, not hard. The fruit on top is quite fresh, and then with maple syrup. But yeah, I personally like it. Kirsten felt that it was so-so, yeah. And Ariana Ariana didn't like the fruit on top of the crepe because they made it too hot. But I didn't mind it.
Homemade chips.
Oh, nice. This is the tartare. We are in Quebec City, and this is our second meal. The first meal, we won't talk about it. It was really bad. Cambodian place, but not authentic, so you won't see it on this vlog. But this is, we're at Le Hobbit. I don't know if that's the way you pronounce it. It's probably Le Hobbit in French, but in English it reads Hobbit. And it's really close to Old Town, but I really like this root salad. What they have is, it's like a goat cheese, cream cheese type of spread, and it's so yummy. With some pistachio on top. The radish, the beet is very fresh. I absolutely love this one. Jay's cutting the duck right now. We'll see how good that is.
So good. I'm gonna feed you, honey.
Yeah? Mmm. So yummy.
Juicy. Tender. So good. I just bite into the duck skin. It's just perfectly grilled with the moist and the fat just melts in your mouth. So good. And the duck, it's just done perfectly. It's like medium rare, and it's just so tasty. Just melts in your mouth. I highly recommend to order the duck.
We ordered the Cornish hen, and it's also very good. So far, all the items that we have is really good. Usually I don't eat white meat or chicken, but this is moist and juicy and flavorful. The skin's flavorful. Very nicely done. We are at a French restaurant. Beautiful patio. They've extended the patio in the COVID days onto the street. But Bistro 1640 is the place. Rated 4.3 on Google. The food overall was really good. We had escargot. We had a tuna tartare, which they marinate in I guess it's a interesting sweet soya almost. Very yummy. Poutine with, spicy poutine with beef and pizza. Pizza's really yummy. Probably oven baked, thin crust the way I like it. Spicy chorizo with sweet onion and honey. I really like it. So if you guys are looking for a place, there's lots around here. This one is 1640 in the old Quebec City.
So we just finished having a really good cheese fondue. I find it better than the other place. But yeah, it was really good. And this is like it's not like burnt, but it's like crispy. Yeah, it's kind of like when you just finish having like that fried rice in like that metal pan thing and you scrape off the side. Oh my god, it's so good.
Is that your favorite part of the fondue?
Yeah,
So did you like this fondue place more or the one in Montreal?
this one.
Why?
Because the cheese tastes better.
Yes, so we went to this place that was highly recommended by other waiter at the restaurant that we dined yesterday. And I have to agree, it's definitely much better than one we tried in Montreal, but it is double the price. The biggest difference was that the fondue had mushrooms, and I'm sucker for mushrooms. And it has cognac in it, which that's my weakness. So 2 out of 3 ingredients I love. Actually, no, I love cheese, and it was Swiss cheese. So all of it was perfect. I loved it.
So Lucky Lime oysters from Prince Edward Island. You got here the Trésor du Large, which are from les îles de la Madeleine. Okay, and there we go from Île Prince Edward as well. The Chibouctou. You got Gadel vinegar, classic mignonette, shishito pepper, very light but spicy sauce, and pressed cucumber with verjuice right there. So there.
So good, eh? The live oyster is really, really good. It's so fresh. You would love it. Well, we just had we just ordered a dozen of oysters, the Atlantic oyster, but separate from that, we also order a kind of like a blindfolded menu. Basically, we don't know what's on the menu. Whatever the chef come up with, we eat. So the first course is the oyster. So this oyster that I just had, I feel is different from the other 3 type that I just had. So it's so creamy and it just melts in your mouth and it's so fresh. I didn't put any sauce on it. I just taste it plainly just like that. And it already gives you a lot of, it just tastes so fresh. So if you're an oyster lover, oh my god, this is to die for.
Amazing. There's some crushed cucumbers there for texture. Very sweet. I'm surprised there's no flavor. It's a little bit like you taste the seafood, the salty side of seafood, but a lot more sweet. So I gotta ask them what they're doing. What do you guys do to this oyster? It's really different than the raw oysters that we have.
So cucumber mignonette and the bourrache. It's fresh herbs. The taste will remind of cucumber also.
Yeah.
A little spicier. It's just the bourrache actually, because we only have 3 types. Yeah.
Maybe what we did wrong is we just piled on the flavor so you don't taste the sweetness of it. This one, there's nothing on it, and you really taste the sweet of the seafood.
Okay.
So here we have beef, the bread, and some chimichurri butter.
Oh, chimichurri butter.
This is probably the best butter I've ever tasted. They call it chimichurri butter. I don't know what the heck that means, but he says there's basil and some other stuff in it. They beat it themselves with butter. Extra creamy, really yummy, and this bread is beetroot bread that they make themselves here. Very nice.
So the second dish we got here at this restaurant was vegetarian, and what was unique about it, there was a piece of smoked salmon with it, but covered with beet, like a paste. Like very well done, very smooth, very sweet at the same time, but it's veggie. And they had some sprouts, they had some nuts, pistachios, I think, and a few other veggies. Very well done. It was almost like a piece of art, just the decoration on the plate and the taste, amazing. Very well done.
Third course, it's been great so far. This is pan-seared scallops with black lentil. And there's a sauce on it. I don't know what sauce, but it's very nice. It's creamy. The lintel is perfectly done. Not too hard, not too soft. And I love the tomatoes in it. You can taste. This is a farm to table type of restaurant, and you can taste the farm freshness of it. It's very sweet. So this is the fourth. This is our fourth course. And Janie and Andrew had the cod, and we had we thought chicken, but it's actually not. It's guinea fowl. So it's a type of bird. But very nice, very juicy, all those white meat. It's amazing. I really like that. And then also, what I really liked was this bean. It looks like green bean, but it's not. It's called flat bean. It's sweeter than green bean. Actually, they had green bean too, and that was not bad. But this one I really liked. They had some fried potato on like a hummus chickpea spread. That one I wasn't crazy about. It's a little bit salty, but the chicken itself is really good.
So Andrew, I noticed your plate is like completely
Yeah, they forgot to bring me my food.
Yeah,
I'm still waiting.
So it was the cod, right?
How was the cod for you?
It was very good. Well, this is my review.
Judging from the plate.
This is the review. I don't. No words necessary.
Ice cream.
Where's the mushroom? The black one, I think. I would assume.
Yeah. That's the mushroom. Yes.
This is the final item of the 5 courses, and it's a dessert. It's a brioche with caramel sauce and roasted hazelnut and a brown sugar ice cream. Very interesting. The brown sugar ice cream is white. Don't know why. But it tasted really good. Actually, it wasn't that sweet at all. It was more creamy than anything. The hazelnut was awesome. The brioche is very nice, so I enjoyed it overall. And
Forgot the main ingredient.
What's the main ingredient?
Mushrooms.
Oh
yes.
Mushrooms.
Right.
We never
That
had
was
that before.
Totally unexpected. He said, mushrooms, really? And it's funny, I was wondering why is this mushroom here, because it didn't add taste, it added the texture.
Texture, definitely.
And maybe you tell me why the mushrooms are. You're the mushroom king.
Mushrooms are the most important things growing on the planet. You know, they connect. The mycelium connects all the living species on the planet. And having mushroom in the dessert, this is the first time in my life that I had that, and I like the texture, definitely.
So they added in because of the texture.
I think so.
Yes. And you know, it's probably just because it's unexpected. Like, who would expect that? Just like the beef that they put in the bread.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. It's amazing. So overall, I had a great experience. I don't know about you guys.
Yes, definitely.
Amazing.
This is the best meal outside of Janie's kitchen over the last 5 weeks.
Yes. And the wine selection is amazing also. So this place is L'Origine. Okay, it's the English is Origin. It's part of the Tanneray restaurant chain. So definitely look it up. It's not as high class or as gourmet as the Tanneray, but the food quality is, I would say, very similar. I'm looking forward to actually trying the Tanneray, but we can't get in there.
Because it's 1 month booking, right?
1 month booking, so we'll be back for that.
And what's unique about this place again is that the chef is female, which is very unique again.
And the chef is the founder, part of the owner. There's the chain has 3 restaurants, and out of the 6 owners, 3 restaurants, 6 owners, 2 are chefs.
If you're in Quebec City, look it up. It's well worth the visit.
So for me, we were fortunate enough that for dining here, one of the owner is actually the chef of this restaurant. So we get to taste what her creation is. So tonight, what we order is kind of like a blind taste menu. So we just order a fixed price menu, and whatever the chef create, we try. So there was like it's like a kind of like hit and miss, but it turned out every course was like really, really well done, and I really enjoy. I think we all really enjoy the food overall, and especially as Andrew said, it is also my first time tasting a dessert with mushroom in it. I mean, I could never thought of that, but because the chef was so creative, I mean, wow, I guess you can do anything with food as long as you have the creativity to it.
So this actually came with the bill. I thought we were done, but there's more.
This is 6th.
This is, what do you call this? Escarp berry?
Like in between.
Acai berry.
Ascap.
Escarp.
Yep.
some kind of
Something
berry.
like that. Very interesting. It's a sorbet. Wow. Interesting. It's different than other sorbets. Usually the sorbets I have is like a bit more icy, a bit more
This is creamier. richer.
crystal. Yeah, this is definitely creamier, but light.
You gotta try
Interesting.
it with
It's like
this.
a fluffy one.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
with that?
Yeah, you have to try it with this.
Try with it together?
Yeah.
Shoot, too late.
And
what
she
is
calls
this?
that the nipples.
The nipple. Oh, what is it? What is it inside?
It's made of another type of berry, but he said it so fast, and then maybe like with an accent in French, I couldn't make it out in English.
And this is like a jelly we made out of a sea buckthorn berry.
It's some kind of berry that I never heard before.
It's yellow nipple.
Interesting.
Yellow nipple.
They are so creative with their food. It's amazing.
I must say.
Excellent experience.
I hope you enjoyed this episode, especially the fun secrets from Quebec City from our guide Richard. Make sure to check back next week for our third episode of Quebec City, where we do a short day trip to Isle d'Orleans and a fun little getaway from the city.